Hi guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to give you 3 tips on how to carry out tree management adequately for all your developments. Before we continue with this video, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Now guys, I'm going to jump into an interview with Alex Walton. He's a tree surgeon, experienced tree surgeon.
Hi, I'm Alex from Walton's Tree Services. We're a tree surgery company based in Colchester, Essex.
Perfect, thank you very much. So as you know guys, property development requires a lot of dealing with different parties. And one of the things that you need to think about is how am I going to build my structure, and what you're going to do with the trees around the structure. Okay, so there are several types of trees that you're not allowed to touch, right, Alex? So you tell to the audience, what is a TPO?
So a TPO is a tree preservation order.
Sure.
They're orders that are put on trees to protect trees from cutting down, trimming and stuff. So if you're going to look into development and like that, make sure you do your checks before you buy the property of the TPO trees. Also if it's in a conservation area, because this all has restrictions on stuff that you can do with trees in regards to developments and stuff and how you want to do it.
Absolutely, and guys, so you need to think about the TPO as not only what is coming, as you can actually see, but the roots, right?
That's
so
it.
the root needs to be protected.
Yeah.
So when you think of excavations, when you think of the development, the foundations, you need to think about the roots of the tree. So Alex, how much time does it take to get permissions, let's say, to trim down a TPO, or what's the sequence there also as well? So what the time is, how much time you need to allow for that sort of thing?
So basically, regards to TPO, you have to put an application in. This usually takes between 6 to 8 weeks for a reply. And then with conservation areas, you have 6 weeks from the date of notice to when you can carry the work out. So that gives you 6 weeks for the council to decline the work.
Right.
Also, another way is if you put in your planning permission and it's approved with the tree removal or anything, that overrides any TPO or conservation area on the property. So if you've got planning for an extension and the tree is down in the first drawing and the planning consent, and that overrides the TPO anyway.
Right.
But apart from that, you need to put in an application for TPO.
Application for TPO. So what is roughly the cost of an application for the TPO, and what could be defined if you don't follow the
So
book?
there's no cost to put in an application.
Right.
If you ask your contractor or someone to do it, they will charge an admin fee or stuff like that.
Sure.
But if you do it for yourself personally, there's no actual cost for the application. There is an unlimited fine to take down a TPO tree, and
really?
you can also get a prison sentence as well.
Prison sentence, okay.
So yeah,
so
that's the game.
That you need to be mega careful with this sort of stuff, okay. So yeah, guys, as Alex clearly said, you need to be mega careful. The other thing that I want to get across to the audience, Alex, is what trees can you actually trim without any planning consent whatsoever.
So if a tree hasn't got any TPO in a conservation area, you can do any work you want to, really.
Right.
Because as long as it's in your property, it's your tree, so by law you're allowed to do what you want to your property.
You're allowed to do that, okay. So any trees, but if there's not TPO, you're allowed to basically trim them.
Yeah.
And is there a best season to do this work?
So each tree responds to pruning techniques and everything different at different times of year.
Sure.
Regards to sort of doing works, ideally the best time is sort of in the winter months because you're out nesting season.
Sure.
When you get trees covered with dents and ivy and stuff like that, you've got to be careful nesting birds, because that is another thing that you've got to watch out for. So that is illegal to destroy any active nest.
Right. And what sort of fines out there if you destroy a nest? Because you were telling me the other day.
So you can get up to £5,000 per nest and £5,000 per egg you destroy.
Per egg.
So the average nest has 2 eggs in it. That's 15 grand fine.
Right. Okay. So just be mindful of that as well. So just be mindful of that over the season. So you think the best period is from what? November or December?
So nesting season runs from beginning of, or the end of March to the end of August. So in that time, that's when you've got to watch out for nesting birds. So if you're going to be doing development and you need a tree down that time and there's a nesting bird, that is going to halt development.
Right.
That's why it's always best to get it done out of season.
There you go, out of the season. Okay, so now let's get into costs roughly. Okay, so today actually, guys, we are in the process of getting rid of one tree that clashes with our development, in the sense of it's too close to the development. It's actually a 45 degrees. I'm a tree hugger myself, but this one is a risk to itself. So we're gonna chop that tree down. So for something like this, you know, how much would you charge? How long that will you take, and how sort of lead time would give for the developer for this sort of trees?
So cost really depends on size of the tree, the location, access. There's lots of different variables for cost. But I mean, this sort of tree today is not a very big job, but we will be coming back to grind out the things. So you'll be looking at sort of 200, 250 £250 for this sort of size tree.
Sure.
But obviously the bigger the tree, the longer it takes, more ways we've got to get rid of, different techniques we have to use, all adds up costs.
Sure.
Lead time for us, we can be quite flexible, because some of the contracts we do allows us to be flexible, but you'll be looking between probably 4 to 6 weeks for any sort of good tree surgeon lead time.
Absolutely. And I guess how do you do that? You also have to have professional indemnity insurance, right? Something goes wrong, then obviously your insurance will pay, and it's it's a yearly basis. So best thing for you guys to check is that I checked Alex's professional indemnity insurance, and you need to do that as well, right? You're liable for that sort of.
Yes. So we've got fully insurance. We've got public and employers, both up to £10 million. And we've also got all of our qualifications, climbing tickets, all our climbing tests is Lola tested, so that's all done. So there is a lot of companies out there that don't abide by this. So that's why it does make it quite tricky to find a good tree surgeon. But always ask any good tree surgeon. Will be happy to show you their certificates or anything you want to see.
Absolutely, and track record. Alex has got numbers of years of being in the business. I think very important to make sure that you check that as well, guys. And so how do my audience get in contact with you? Could you share
so we're on Google. You can just type us in Google. We've got a web page, so you can get to us through there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, all our details are on there. We're based in Colchester, so just give us a call.
Perfect. Good. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed those tips. Thanks ever so much, Alex, for sharing that information with us, and see you all soon. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Alex, and those tips were useful to you. Somewhere around this screen, we'll have a link for more videos. So I look forward to seeing you there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so, and see you in the next video.